Hey, this is Scotty from the Gifford Group, and today I just want to talk a little bit about the market and what we're seeing. And will the question that everyone's asking is when will home prices drop? So let's go check out the data. All right, so on my screen you'll see a little article that I've talked about will home prices drop. And today I just want to start off with about actually looking at the latest market update that we got. So these are March numbers that just closed this last month. We are sitting in April now. So here's the latest data from HAR, Houston Association of Realtors, which I'm a part of. All right, so let's look at the actual data from last month to see. This is looking at March. We're comparing March 2022 to March 2023, and if you look at the actual home sales, we're down about 20%. We had about 12,000 homes sell back last March to about 9,500 homes sold in this last just closing March. So, and you can see that the total volume of actual sales is actually down too because of that. That we're seeing that go down there. So, and you see the actual number of listings is up 69%. So we've had this, increase in inventory. You know, good news is that the home pending sales are still about the same. So we had about a pending about 9,500 back in March 2022, and we're about 9,000 pending home sales in March of 2023. So, and if you look at the actual average price, 409 last year, 408. So what is this data telling us, right? The data is telling us is that we've seen a transactional crash and as far as home sales. And I've been saying this for a while that you should be expecting this transactional crash in the actual number of home sales, but the prices themselves aren't really dropping. So if you see like we're only down about $1,000 average price. So, you know, people, and why is that the case? So people that are in their homes aren't forced to go anywhere, right? They got the low mortgage, right? Or they got no mortgage. They're not moving up. So the move up buyers are dead, right? We got first time home buyers still want to move in. So, well, if someone's selling their home, they're competing with other first time home buyers. So really only we're seeing probably a big drop in that the upper range of homes, the up, $1 million plus home sales are down about 20%. The volume's down, and above 500,000 is down too a little bit. So really the bread and butter is the low threes right now is where we're seeing most of the sales. Let me see if the number of closings in 2021, which is a really hot market, is 37,000 sales in 2022. By the end of the year, you can see that really dropped off because beginning of 2022 was really hot and heavy still too because we still had interest rates in the low threes, and then as those rates started to climb, we see that the number of units actually dropped off, right? And so we actually ended down about 35% in the number of volume year over year, the closing. So, and that trend is kind of continues. So we're seeing, from the midpoint of 2022 to the last year, we're kind of going to see that same number of transactions, I believe, going forward. So you can see another thing that's interesting, looking at the days on the market. So going back a year, we were about 38 days in the market, and now we're up to 62. So you can see that, it's kind of gotten to more of a normal market because days, if you compare about a 5 year average, we're about at 59 days before 2022. So you see 2021 and 2022 were really, or at least the first half of 2022 was really an unsustainable market. Prices were going up 20-30% a year. It was just, that's not a sustainable market. You can't keep doing that, right? So we're getting back to the more of the averages, but what is the averages as far as, what is the looking forward? Let's look into the data now to see looking forward.
If you're finding this video helpful, like and subscribe today.
Okay, so now on the screen here, I got some economic facts that I want to talk to you about. So, the Texas leading indicator index says that, hey, we're still up year over, the last 3 months of growth are positive. Consumer confidence is up, to 104, a little bit from February. So we're seeing the CPI is about 6.4 from January. So it's kind of still slowing down a little bit as far as like the actual inflation we're seeing. Good news is jobs in January, 4,800 new jobs in the Texas economy, right? So in Houston, we got the port, um, we got major airlines, we got nursing. I mean, we have the oil companies still too. So like we have a very broad and diverse economy here. Where it's, there's not going to be this drop off of just, the economy is dropping in Houston. So we're not just a one trick pony anymore, like in the 80s. One thing I talked a little bit about right here. We'll look at some of the interesting facts about the mortgages themselves and why we're seeing that destruction of homeowners. The move up market is kind of dead. If you look at the Black Knight estimates here, 13 million homeowners have rates below 3. You think they want to get rid of that 3% to go buy 6% more at a 6%? Not happening, right? You got another 20 million that are included in the 3 to 4% range, right? So, and then you got another 37% of the market that doesn't even have a mortgage at all, right? So they don't even have a mortgage, let alone they're going to want to go buy a home at 6.5% or whatever they're looking at right now. So the move up market's kind of dead right now. So it's really going to be people that are moving into this place, and I think that's where the importance of is Houston going to keep seeing that strong market, wanting people to move here, because that's really going to be the people that are going to have to buy. Those are the people that are, it doesn't matter what the interest rates are. If you want to buy a home and you don't have the cash, well, then you're going to have to be getting a mortgage, and you can't control what those rates are, so you're going to be buying at whatever it is. So if you moved here in the last couple of years, you locked in the low interest rate, great job, good for you. But not everyone's going to be in that situation if they're moving from, California. We have buyers move from California, Colorado, moving into the lower 40, the coastal states. They have to buy with a mortgage unless they have the cash from the equity of their home. And they might have a big chunk of cash, but maybe they don't have enough to actually, I've had a lot of California people talk about, hey, I'm going to move from California, I'm going to sell my $1 million home. But, now they see that the average home price is, that they want this big home, it's $500,000-$600,000. So are they, still going to make that move? So as far as the labor and statistics, like, this is really interesting. 9 out of every 100 workers are employed in Texas. So almost 10% of the workers in the entire United States work and live in Houston, like not in Houston, but live and work in Texas, right? 4 biggest markets: Dallas, Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. So, think about that workforce wanting to come here and how many people are already working here. So I think the number of households is an important number to look at too. We had 9.8 million households in Texas back in 2019, right? And, if we look at the number, about 61% of those are owner occupied. And that trend continues. Councils right here, the Houston Galveston market is projected to have, over the next 10 years, they were projecting to have about 800,000 new households added to the market. And assuming about that same 61% of those wanted to be about homeowners versus renters, which is the national statistics average about, that's over 500,000 new homeowners, coming to Houston that are wanting to own a home. So all those people won't be able to get in at 0% mortgages. Some of them will have the cash, right? But some of them won't have to be buying new mortgages. So all that to say, I don't think we're going to see a drop off in, the actual decreases in homes, because we've already seen that hit right now. The mortgage rates have already been what they are. It's about a year now that, we're seeing those new higher rates. So people are going to start accustomed to it and realize, hey, if I want to buy a home, we're going to be in the 6s, right? Unless I can buy it on enough points to get it down into the 5. So just that realization that you can't control everything. And if you want to get in a home, most people are looking at the payment anyways. So what can they do to become a homeowner? Let's look a little further to 2050. The number of households is forecast to be from, we're about 9 million right now to about 17 million, right? So that's, 10 million new homeowners coming in by 2050, right? So I think we're going to keep seeing that homeowner growth across the country. More people want to be homeowners. When you look at across the, 61% is about the average home ownership. I think we'd hit a little bit higher back in the, when we had some less stringent mortgage things. We went up to almost 69% nationally. And I think that's, pushing it to say that many people will be able to qualify for a mortgage. But as the number of people increases and that percentage just stays about the same, that means we're going to have those new homeowners, right? So people are looking to be homeowners. I have a whole article about why, homeowners have a higher net worth than renters. It's worth a check out. I'll link that below as well. Um, and if you're a renter out there right now and you're thinking, hey, it is too expensive for me to own, just remember that you are paying 100% mortgage essentially right now because you're getting zero return on that renter. You're making someone else wealthy by being a renter. You're paying the taxes, insurance, mortgage for that person, and they're collecting the little dime on top of that, you know. And so it's like, do you want to be making yourself wealthy, or do you want to be making your landlord wealthy? And that's whether you're in apartments or whether you're in a rental home. The same thing is happening. You yourself are paying someone else's bills, right? And if I could have 100 renters and 100 rental properties, and I didn't have to pull my hair out to do that, and I had the cash to do that, I totally would. I would totally have 100 properties because I would have 100 people paying them for those properties for myself, and I'd be getting wealthy off of that. So I don't have that money, but if you want to give me that money, I'll do that. But I think it's important to note that it's just the U.S. is set up for, the government set up to say, hey, we want people to own homes. It's good for the economy. It's good. Homeowner goes to Home Depot, spends stuff. They get a roofer come out. The government wants people to have home ownership, right? The system is rigged to have benefits, tax breaks for home ownerships, and it's just the reality of the way it is. So if you're thinking about being a homeowner yourself, I'm a mortgage loan officer. I can help you with that. I'll put a link down below if you want to apply for a mortgage. More than happy to have that conversation with you. We have some great resources on our website, thegiffordgroup.net. We have a mortgage calculator. It shows you, hey, how much my payment would be, but how much I need to make to be able to afford that. So before you even give us a call, you can go on check out that calculator and go, hey, I need to make about $70,000 a year to be able to afford this mortgage based on the taxes, insurance, and mortgage. So our goal is to help people stay in homes and to get into the new homes if they're not already in one, because we do believe in home ownership here at the Gifford Group. So I just wanted to hopefully give you some information that you could go back, so you're not just, hey, I'm waiting for this sky to fall and I'm waiting for these prices to drop before I go and make a move, because I hate to tell you, that's not going to happen. Prices aren't dropping. People that are in there locked in their homes right now, either they got no mortgage or they got a really low mortgage, and that's 75% of the market has really low rate or don't have a mortgage at all. So the percentage of people that have a high mortgage right now, not a lot of them out there. But unfortunately, if you're going to be buying right now, you might be one of those new people that's going to have a high mortgage rate. And just know you missed out on that. But that's okay, because, when I first bought my home, my rates were around 6% too. So just because the rates are higher now, doesn't mean that I regretted buying a home then, right? Being in a home provided me, my family, stability. I could do what I want with it. My home appreciated. I got some tax breaks. And when I went to go sell, I actually made a little money that I used and rolled over to the next home, right? So the home ownership process today, it's not a short-term thing. I think we live in a society where everybody wants that quick fix. They want the easy button. They want to be able to download the app and then have Uber driver, somebody else deliver the food for them. It's hard. You have to save money. You got to have good credit. You got to put a down payment. You got to home shop. You got to, get qualified for the mortgage first. There's a lot of steps to being a homeowner. That's why some people just never want to enter the game, or don't want, I'm just going to listen to the pundits and they say it's a bad time to buy. There's a lot of confidence out there of people that just don't get it, right? So they're like, hey, it's a bad time to buy. Let's look at this. Only 20% of people out there said it's a good time to buy right now. The other 80% of the people said, no, it's not a good time to buy. Do you want to be competing with the other 80% of the people that said it's a great time to buy? I was buying back in COVID when everyone else was like, I'm not buying a home, it's too dangerous, blah, blah, blah. That was the best time to buy, when everyone else is sitting on the sidelines. You're not competing with everybody. You're not competing with everybody right now. There's very few homeowners out there right now that are looking, that are serious, that are prepared to move forward. And if you put an offer in, you're likely going to get it accepted, right? If you put a serious offer in, and maybe they'll come down on the price. you don't know. Work with an agent that's qualified, that knows the market, knows the neighborhood, knows what they're looking at. But like, be different than everyone else. Don't be what everyone else is doing. If you're following the herd, you're probably doing the wrong thing. Because by the time 80% of the people are doing that, it's probably overheated again, right? So be different. Don't do what everyone else is, what they're saying. Like, you want to be, oh, look, it's going up, it's going to go up forever. Does it ever go up forever? No. Did the home prices keep going up forever? No, they stopped. They come back down a little bit. Year over year, they're flat, right? So I think it's a great time to be looking at the market, take advantage of those buyers that have been sitting on there 100 plus days, right? Hey, they need to sell. They're looking to sell. Their home's still in the market. There's a reason why they're probably looking to sell. So look for those pressure points. Figure out what their needs are as far as a seller. Try to accommodate those and get you into a home at a good price that you can afford. So that kind of wraps it up for today. I just want to give you an overall of what I was feeling for the market. Look at some data. Hopefully, I can put this video together and provide you, a good resource to share with your partner if they're not in that same mentality, or maybe you needed that reinsurance yourself. You needed somebody out there to say, hey, it is a good time to buy. Because I still think it is a great time to be buying right now when no one else is. And if you're not a homeowner, you're never going to be a homeowner by just sitting on the sidelines. So you got to take action today, get pre-qualified, go out there, start shopping with an agent, and you actually might find something that you can afford, and it might not be more expensive than the rent you're going to be paying next month. So with all that said, thanks for tuning in, and